Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and bishops of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, who teach sound doctrine, and to the beloved prophets and brothers on the highways and hedges, teaching sound doctrine as well. To you I say shalom, and to all you listeners out there, continue to endure, learn, and build up your faith, and continue to eat this doctrine. In the name, and for you, I also say shalom. The title of this epistle is going to be called "The Eyes of Yahweh," or "The Eyes of the Lord are in every place," with the centralized focus being on that nothing goes unnoticed and everything is orchestrated by the will of the Father. Everything. And a lot more questions are going to be asked from those who do not have this understanding as why these things are happening. Why does the Father allow these atrocities, these terrors to continue when He has the power in His hand to make things all better and go away? Well, because throughout the scriptures we see that because of how the sins of men have reached to the nostrils of the Father and have touched His ears, and He have seen all things unto a time, then He will coordinate amendments according to His will and His ways on His time, and we'll go into some scriptures and we'll talk about it, and we'll showcase that we are dealing with an almighty power, and He is terrible, and He is merciful, and He is all loving all at the same time, and He has given all of His children ample time to get their act in order and to receive mercies. He sends multiple upon multiple attempts to get your attention, to straighten up and to better yourself in righteousness. So the first verse I'll go into is found in Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 3. And it reads, "The eyes of Yahweh are in every place, beholding the evil and the good." Everything that you are witnessing and experiencing around you and abroad, either through radio broadcast or on your phones or on your TV, is all orchestrated by the will of the Heavenly Father and has always been ordained for a very specific purpose. Throughout multiple captivities and ages, it was always in the desire of the Father's heart to have His children reign in supremacy and have full dominion over the entire earth and above all nations, to establish righteousness and keep the order of life in perfect balance. But because of man's sin, and women for that matter, that continue to envelope themselves in the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and everything underneath the sun, everything is out of order. Everything is turned backwards. Good is evil, evil is good. So the eyes of the Father is in every place, and He beholds the good and the evil. And ultimately, those who are continuing to build onto themselves and walk upright will be ultimately set apart from those that will receive the full judgment in full scale. As of this very moment and in this time, wickedness has grown extremely dark over the entire earth, in every continent, every city, every town, and every home. There's wickedness of some sort, some sin, because anything outside of keeping His will and His ways is lawlessness. Not keeping the commandments, not observing what He asks us to observe, is lawlessness, and in the eyes of the Father considered evil. And He sees everything. Angels go to and fro reporting and have a full documented detail on you specifically, each individual that can hear these words. There's a docket rung up on you for everything that you have ever spoken, thought of, and did ever in your entire life up to this moment and further on before judgment. His eyes are beholding everything. Right now, there's atrocities, Salakia, being done right now all around you. There's people looking at vile things on their phones. There is people of all ages committing all kinds of atrocities. Your next door neighbors. Your next door neighbor doesn't need to be the next house over. It can be the next town over, next city over. There's atrocities happening all around you, and you don't even know it. Even though within the confines of your own home, they might be peaceful, doors are locked, nothing going on. 2 houses over, someone could be being molested. A town over, someone could be getting raped, stuck up. Use your imagination, right? So the Father, he sees all things. And you're probably wondering, why doesn't he just stop these things? He has given us the ability to experience life in a way where it has to be orchestrated to be underneath his divine will. Either you're a vessel that was made for honor or dishonor. He ultimately has that say in the end. And the reason he shows long-suffering mercy is to also show those that are living in accordance to his will how merciful he actually really is. He's not reactionary. He's not just, you committed a sin, boom, I'm going to just lay this on you right now. No, let's go to Romans real quick. I have this one written down. Romans 9. Behold, the eyes of the Most High Yahweh is in every place, beholding the good and the evil. We're going to Romans 9, verse 22 and 23. Yeah, it says, what if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? As we see the severity of things unfolding in the world today, and all the abominable and atrocities and all the evils that are now being shown in the light, even to this very moment, the Father is extending his mercies unto those that are trying to learn diligently, are devoting their heart, mind, and soul to learning his ways, practicing them out in with sincerity and with a contrite heart, and putting on the new man or new woman. You're refining, being refined, and he's dealing with you like a son and a daughter, because he's extending that much mercy. And he's even extending mercies unto those that continue to walk in darkness and in straight vanity, because he has sent a message into the earth and proclaimed it with his prophets and his teachers and his disciples and his sheep, saying, we see the day approaching, we want to hearken and get our house in order. We want to take this with the utmost respect and with fear to get these things straight, because his eyes are upon this wicked and sinful kingdom. Nothing goes unnoticed. The Spirit of the Most High is in the earth. As it is this day, he's letting loose. So in this hour, he's still extending his mercies. So Romans chapter 9 and verse 23, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. Those of you who are continuing to do the work and study to show yourself approved and to edify and pass that wisdom and knowledge unto the next, he's extending that mercy unto those as well. First and foremost, the elect of the house of Yasha'Allah, Israel, and then unto those who will cleave to this sincere word, Salakia. Next verse, I'm going to jump into the book of Sirach, which is found in the Apocrypha, which is also canon. The book of Sirach, verse 23. Chapter 23 of the book of Ecclesiastic is also known as Sirach. And we'll grab verse 19. No, we'll jump up to 18. And this is a situation here. It says, a man that breaketh wedlock. This is about adulterous spouses. It can be a man or a woman. So, a man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness, and the walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? And the Most High will not remember my sins. This person who continues to live in wickedness and deceit, they're deceiving themselves first and foremost, but they're under the cloak and the disguise thinking that no one can see them because it's hidden, right? You think because you're hidden away somewhere in an office watching whatever you're watching on TV or on your phone that you're not being watched in the midst of your actions. You think because you're hidden behind a building cursing someone out or smacking people around that is not being noticed. You think because it's dark out and there's no lights that what you're doing can't be seen. Folly. Verse 19, it says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of Yahweh are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. These were written for aforetime for our knowledge, and they're to be received as truth. And if not, then you do not believe that the eyes of the Lord are indeed watching you. So that is applicable to both male and female alike, right? Next verse. Precept upon precept. This is how we build understanding and fortify our faith and receiving this word. This is why we go to precept upon precept. If anybody is new to that understanding, you have to build your foundation on several witnesses to have a firm footing in your walk. Right? Psalms 33. Psalms 33 and 18. Next page. It says, behold, the eye of Yahweh is upon them that fear him. The eyes of the Most High Yahweh is upon those that fear him. So those that fear him have an understanding of who he is, and that's the beginning of wisdom. Because if you know what the Most High is all about and what kind of judgments he could bring upon you, it should startle you to the point where you want to observe and be obedient unto his word. It says, behold, the eye of Yahweh is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy. So, because now we are prompted to have that fear of the Most High, just like Noah did. Noah moved with fear and believed the word that it stirred him to action, right? He went out and he proclaimed the word of the Most High and the judgments unto those non-believers, those mockers and scoffers, who gave him no forethought, thought he was whatever they thought he was, oh, it's gonna rain. And then, boop, that drop hit the ground, stirred him up. But by that time, the Most High shut him in. The only way you're going to receive protection in the times to come is if the Most High shuts you in. I don't care how many beautiful deadbolts you buy from Home Depot and put on your house, what kind of a camera system you put around a property. You can grab 15 dogs. If you're not covered by the blood of, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, the Most High is not going to go over your door. He's going to walk right in. Just like that. So, behold, the eye of Yahweh is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death, and to keep them alive in famine. That is a beautiful promise to those who continue to build their hope and to have faith that their works are going to substantiate their understanding and putting on righteousness, right? because he has promises. He says to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. He reiterates that in the book of Job. Job is awesome. Job 5 real quick. This is a sidebar to compound that promise. Job 5:20. It says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. These are the plagues that are going to be sent out unto the wicked, chiefly to the wicked. Verse 21. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field. He will keep you in perfect peace, even though the waters are turbulent, even though the sounds outside is terrorizing. He will keep you in perfect peace. He said, do not be afraid. Thou shalt laugh. Laugh? Wow. I really want to receive that, right? Verse 22, it says, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beast of the field shall be at peace with you. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation, and shalt not sin. Thou shalt know also that the seed shall be great, that thy seed shall be great, talking about your little ones, and thine offspring as the grass of the earth. That's beautiful. That's his promise. That's our hope in his mercy, to receive that covering when things are cranked up, because his eyes are in every place. He has sent his messengers down to earth to be living testimonies against those that are continue to live in folly and wickedness and do not receive his word. Everything is being recorded. Be careful that some of you have entertained angels unaware. Remember that. Remember that. Ezekiel chapter 9 and 11. I won't make this long. Ezekiel chapter 9 and 11. Oh, right here. And behold, a man clothed with the linen, which had the inkhorn by his side, reported the matter, saying, I have done as thou hast commanded. In Ezekiel chapter 9, it goes into the messengers and how they recorded what they saw. If you look at Ezekiel chapter 9, verses 4 and 5 and 6, it says, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city. This is the Most High sending his messengers, sending his prophets, sending his angels to warn the people, to go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. The righteous are crying out in the midst of wherever they're at and witnessing people not walking in alignment to the word of the Father, expressly unto those that say they are walking as they should, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, observing the feast days. He says, they worship me with their mouth, but their heart is far from me. He don't care about all the theatrics that you're putting on. He doesn't care about, the outside appearance, but he's judging within. His eyes is beholding all things. He's observing your wicked deeds and your good deeds. It's all going to be weighed in balance. And to others, he said, in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. This is when you ultimately may have mercies be covered in the blood of Hamashiach Yahushai. When these judgments are poured out in full scale, will you have done everything according to his word to the best of your ability with the fear and reverence that should substantiate your walk and your faith in this, to receive that covering. What does your belief look like? Examine yourself. Is this a show for you? Are you in the house of mirth or in the house of mourning? With enough wisdom to know what's going on around you. Do you find peace with your environment? Or are you crying out to the Father to judge those that continue to live lawlessly, living wickedly? Do not think because you can drive from here to there and steer away from what you may consider wicked people, wicked environments. The whole environment is utterly corrupted from head to toe. Head to toe. Ezekiel chapter 12. Ezekiel chapter 12. Verse 16. It says, but I will leave a few men of them from the sword, from the famine, and from the pestilence, that they may declare all the abominations among the heathen, whither they come, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. He is only going to spare a remnant, a very few, those that fear the Most High and walk in His ways and keep His ways and want to teach His ways and live in His ways. This is not for a time and then you can go back to normal. This is our new life, and we receive it with gladness. This is not a burden to live this way. This is order and structure. This is clean living. To remove all the defiled things that you ever put in your heart, in your home, and then into your children and your family. That needs to go. All of it. Nothing can come with you. Nothing from your past. If you desire anything in your past job, your past relationships, your friends, the food. You want the garlic and the leeks and the fish too? Go back. He'll send you back. He'll give you up to the desires of your heart. Whatever is in your heart, He will give to you. What is your chief joy? What do you desire more than the Most High Himself? Is He your husband? Is He the one you think about? Is He the one you say you love? If you love someone, you should have the evidence to show. It's not a word. Saying I love you is not a word. It doesn't express what the word means. It's an action. When you love someone, there's an action to substantiate that, right? But everything, He witnesses everything. He's watching everything, and He has His shepherds keeping eyes on the flock too, and witnessing and recording all things, right? He doesn't miss a thing, and He doesn't punish right away. He is long-suffering. Long-suffering. He's building up a case, At the times of your ignorance, He winks at it. He records it. I got you. I saw you. No one else saw you. You thought the walls were covered, and you thought because you were under the cover of darkness that no one saw it, but I saw it. I remember it. I remember what you did when you were 5 years old. No one else saw it, but I saw it. I'll bring it up to your attention if you forgot. That precept is found in Acts 17, verse 30 and 31. At the times of your ignorance, He winked at it. 1 Peter. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 12. Verse 12. For the eyes of Yahweh are over the righteous, and His ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of Yahweh is against them that do evil. Not everybody who sends up the prayers, He's going to hear you. You're considered dirty in His eyes. Have you forgiven who you were supposed to forgive? Did you return something that wasn't yours? He's keeping a roster on all things. you can't continue to think yourself to be having a holy walk if you haven't done all the things that he asked you to do. Right? Did you put on those fruits? You know, we have a lot of fruit inspectors out there making sure other people that have fruits. Have you examined what's on your tree? Did you examine yourself? Or did you set yourself up as judge and ruler to rule over others, thinking that was the way to go? No way, Jack. Psalms 34. I'll see if I can speed this up a little bit. Psalms 34. Oops, wrong way. Psalms 34. Psalms 34 and 15. It says, the eyes of Yahweh are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. Are you crying for all the abominations that are done within? You know, just because, you know, it hasn't happened to you personally yet, or anybody in your family yet. You know, those who are walking righteously, they're going to call for his judgment. We're going to cry out to the Father to, you know, pour out his judgment on the wicked. That's a righteous thing to do. That's a righteous thing to do. That's like saying to the doctor, only cut out the largest part of the cancer and let the small amount stay in because it's small. It's harmless. No. Cancer is cancer. Infection is infection. Disease is disease. Sickness is sickness. Sin is sin. Point blank, period. 2 Chronicles. 2 Chronicles, and I'll close it up after this. 2 Chronicles. 2 Chronicles chapter 16. 16 and verse 9. For the eyes of Yahweh run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong in the behalf of those whose heart is perfect towards him. Herein thou hast done foolishly. Therefore, from thenceforth thou shalt have wars. Because of the atrocities and abominations on this earth, things are escalating because the amount of sin that continues to fester throughout the world is the reason why we have all these problems and all these atrocities going on. And everything is, again, being recorded. The eyes of the Lord go up and down. Everything's being recorded from earth, the Aharetz, into the heavens, the Shamayim. So I pray that this lesson, this epistle here, stirs whoever needs to in order to self-examine yourself and those around you, you know. Show mercy and compassion. Continue to do the right thing. Pray, repent, fast, all those things. And continue to seek wisdom. So I pray this was edifying. Until the next time, Shalom.